Welcome to my YouTube channel. By the way, it's been a while since we've had a conversational video on important topics like this, and today's video will be dedicated to the most common question I get from my online course students and even from colleagues who are just starting out in tattooing. It's about how to work with tattoos in general and where there's more money in commercial work or in developing your own style. First, I'd like to separate these concepts a little bit, the way I understand and see them, and explain what the difference is between your own style and commercial work. Basically, commercial tattoo artists are those who do any kind of work found on the internet. That is, they don't necessarily develop something of their own. People come to them with ready-made designs they've found somewhere on Pinterest, maybe just on Google, or even generated with ChatGPT, and they come to get that tattoo done. In other words, this is an artist who can work in absolutely any style, a little bit in each, but possibly, or often, not mastering any one style fully. And the style is not brought to perfection. Artists who work in their own style have a unique signature. They often develop in one direction, whether it's fine line work, some kind of micro-realism, or just hyper-realism, or perhaps some complex graphics with geometry. In other words, the artist already has their own signature style and also the uniqueness of their sketches. That is, it's not necessarily the case that if an artist does dragons, it means they only do dragons. No, it's more about the fact that the artist simply has some unique touch in their work that can't be replicated. So how do I feel about my own style and about commercial work? I'll put it this way. Both have their place in our industry. Because there are clients who want to get a picture done exactly as they found it on the internet, meaning the individuality of the style or the uniqueness of the sketch isn't that important to them. They found a beautiful picture online, went and got it tattooed, and that's fine, that's normal, there's nothing wrong with that. It's precisely for this kind of work that commercial artists are needed. No, I'm not saying that it's okay to steal a sketch from a master's page, especially if that artist already has their own style or is just starting to develop in their own direction. Here it's more about those overused designs like Memento Mori or Carpe Diem, as they say, some Roman inscriptions, or the same dragons that so many people get. That's absolutely normal. To go and get that kind of tattoo done, so I don't look down on those kinds of artists. I'm more inclined to look down on those artists who tattoo a design that the client either stole from an individualist artist's page or who steal those designs themselves and tattoo them on others. That's really not okay. Why? I'll explain. Because many artists who are developing their own style often only tattoo their designs once, meaning they'll never repeat it for anyone else ever again. And just imagine they did a tattoo and then someone simply took that design, stole it, and had another artist do it. Of course, the quality will most likely be different because it's impossible to replicate an artist's unique style. I still stick to the position that no matter how hard you try to copy another artist, you'll never succeed, because we all have different hands. And basically, it's really disrespectful to your colleague, to the client who got that tattoo. So it's really a very stupid situation, a very unpleasant one. I believe that such situations need to be eradicated, at the very least out of mutual respect for each other. As for the commercial side of tattooing, when you just do any design and the development of the sketch doesn't really matter to you. By the way, that's when a lot of people say, oh, why do you need drawing skills? You just take a picture and trace it. Basically, that's exactly for those who want to work in the commercial side of things. And you can actually make a lot of money there because of the steady flow of clients. But breaking through the ceiling with a single piece will be very difficult, because the price of a tattoo depends on many factors. It's not just one or two. It's not just about the quality and price of the supplies, there are a lot of factors involved. So, as I already mentioned, the price of a tattoo is made up of many factors. And basically, commercial tattoo artists usually develop three main factors. These are the cost of supplies, location, and simply the quality of their work. But at the same time, other parameters aren't developed, those that artists who work on their own style already have. I'll talk about that now as well. So yes, artists who focus on commercial work have a large flow of clients, they work a lot, and they also earn a lot. So yes, the earnings there can also be quite substantial, but there's also this point. Essentially, it turns into a kind of craft and just a regular job. But if we're not just talking about work and craft, but about media presence, creativity, and the thrill you get from doing what you've developed yourself, then we move into your own style. Here, the flow of clients might be smaller, but not always, because many artists who work in their own style are booked out for several months in advance. So the flow of clients might be smaller, but the earnings will be about the same. Why is that? Because here, factors like individuality and the artist's unique style play an important role. Media presence can also matter if the artist develops it, which, by the way, is a very important point. Yes, in tattooing, it's very important to develop all these aspects at the same time. Not just the quality of the materials you work with. And actually, by the way, I believe that the quality of materials shouldn't have a major impact on the price. It might have a slight effect, but not a significant one. So an argument like I use high quality needles is not really an argument. Because first and foremost, high quality needles are necessary for your own comfortable work and to avoid having to redo work later, do touch-ups, or refund a client who is dissatisfied with the quality. So developing your own style is a long journey. That is, you might not immediately reach the flow of clients you would like to have. But the journey is very rewarding, very interesting, because I am a master who has been developing and refining my own style for many years. And even I sometimes change it, and that's absolutely normal because creative people who are constantly evolving may, after some time, reconsider what they did before and want to do something new. And that's really great. It's a wonderful experience, and it's even better when you start combining what you used to do with some new skill you've acquired. That's how something even newer is formed. So, as I said, the path is long, but in the end, you might reach a point where you can earn from just 2 sessions what a commercial specialist would make from 7 sessions. That is, working an entire week from morning till night. And of course, here's another very important piece of advice I'd like to give you. If you're starting to develop as a tattoo artist working in your own style, then please at the same time make growing your social media your hobby. If you're sitting without clients or you don't have many yet, then tattooing temporarily becomes your hobby, and developing your social media becomes your job. This is really very important because how else will people find out about you? And yes, don't be afraid of this process of growth. It's really cool. It's a very engaging thing to do. You just need to take small steps every day. Do something new, talk about yourself, talk about your style, who it's for, communicate its essence to clients, and gradually reach your target audience. If I had known at the very beginning how many opportunities tattooing would give me, I would have been completely shocked. I never would have believed that I could meet really amazing people, bloggers who once inspired me themselves, and now they trusted me and I did tattoos for them. So it turns out that my art inspired them too, and now they carry my work with them for life. It's an incredibly cool experience, and honestly, our profession is amazing. There's nothing else I can say. It's the best profession in the world. I absolutely love tattooing with all my heart. Yes, basically, the choice is yours, whether you want to develop as a commercial tattooist or as a tattoo artist. Because for me, the phrase tattoo artist means a bit more than just its literal translation. Technically, tattoo artist translates as tattoo painter, but I put a lot more aspects into this title, into our profession, than just that. I'm also against tattoo artists who work commercially arguing with those who work in their own style and vice versa, because all artists have a right to exist. It's all the same profession. It's just that some people choose one path and others choose another, and that's perfectly normal. Yes, and here's another common question that many people who are just starting out in tattooing have. For example, I also have an online course on fine line contours, and those who take it from scratch often have a logical question. Julia, what should I do if people are writing to me and want to get a tattoo? They just want this or that, basically not in my style. In essence, commercial projects. To that, I have this answer. Basically, when you're just starting out, you need to build your skills, you need to develop your technique, you need to get familiar with skin, with different skin types, get to know, yes, how to work with people. Let's put it that way, how to interact with people, how it all works, especially if you've never done this before. And that's why commercial projects can become a kind of lifeline for you, saving you from being broke or going into the red, and also a way to practice your skills. Moreover, this can become an important aspect in shaping your own style. Because your style is also shaped by your visual experience and the work you put in. When you work with a particular sketch in the process, you start to understand what you actually enjoy bringing to life. What exactly inspires you? What looks more aesthetically pleasing to you on the skin? And that's how your own style is formed. At the beginning of my journey, I worked with shading as well. I tried doing realism, watercolor, floral designs, bold outlines. There was nothing I didn't try. In the end, I realized that I absolutely love working with fine lines. And that's where the search for my own style began as well, but it was much deeper this time. There, I started to think about what it means to have your own style and began to develop a sort of formula for finding it. As a result, there's one exercise. It's really good. I also give it in my course about how to develop your own style and understand what you enjoy doing at a particular point in time. I also provide, yes, all sorts of tools there on how to actually attract people specifically to your own style. So, yes, I can also give this piece of advice. In general, it's normal to take on commercial projects at the beginning of your journey, but at the same time, you can, in your free days, at least once a week, look for models for sketches in your own style. that is specifically for your sketches, and gradually fill your social media profile with works done in your style. In other words, don't post the works that you don't enjoy doing. That is, not the ones you don't like visually, but the ones you wouldn't want to do again, because that's a common mistake for many people developing their own style. They start posting everything they do. As a result, when someone visits their page, they get the impression that the artist can do anything they want, even if the artist isn't interested in it. And then, well, people ask me, how do I break out of this vicious cycle? I say, just don't share those works on your social media, that's all. If there are works you don't like doing, don't share them. Share what you enjoy. Share what is more or less close to your style. Or yes, in the style you would like to develop in. That's it. In the end, the number of people who want to come to you for your style will be greater than those who just want to do everything indiscriminately, so to speak. That's why I still believe that in terms of prospects, earnings, and opportunities, it's definitely better to develop your own style. But yes, if you don't need that, if you're really just looking for a craft, just a way to earn money, just a regular job, then you can develop as a commercial specialist. There's nothing shameful about that either. So I wish everyone to find their own path, to find their own style, if that's what you want.